Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. So, we just today revise all the things which we have done, right? So, in the theory section, is there any doubts or anything which you have? You studied about computer fundamentals, right? What is a computer? What are the advantages of a computer, and you can say the types of systems which you have, types of computers you have according to size and according to technology, right? Then you studied about binary number system conversion, binary, hexadecimal, and octal number system. Remember?
Yes, ma'am.
So if we go for some papers, if we go for theory papers, let us see. I'm just sharing my screen. I told you where to download the IGNOU theory papers, right? From the IGNOU website. You have to go to student support, and under student support you have to go to student zone, right? And under student zone you have many things here, and you have question papers also. So go to question papers. You can open whatever question paper, like this is the latest one, June 2021, and your school is, you will say Control F, find SOCIS, SOCIS. That is School of Computer and Information Sciences, right? So here you have Bachelor of Computer Applications. You go to June 2021, and the paper is BCS-11, Computer Basics and PC Software. And you click on June 2021, and this is your paper, which has come, the latest paper, which have the June 2021 were held in right now in March, February, March. This paper was held right now, right? No, not June 1. June 2021 was held on September, October 2021, right? So first question is, convert the following numbers as asked. Can you see that? 12.5 base 10 means it is a decimal number.
Decimal.
To binary you have to convert. This is a binary number, you have to convert to decimal. Again a binary number to hexadecimal, and a hexadecimal number to binary. Any problems in this? This is a fractional number. So integer part will be solved by dividing it by 2 and taking the remainder, right, from bottom to top, and this 0.5 has to be multiplied by 2 until this point becomes 0. Remember? I have forwarded you that document also. Remember not? Everybody
Yes,
forgot.
ma'am.
Right? So there is no difficulty in this question. Is there any
Ma'am,
difficulty?
hexadecimal to binary.
There is no problem in hexadecimal. The B is equivalent of binary. Make the table. Remember, you have eight zeros and 8 ones, then 4 zeros and 4 ones, then 2021 and 010101. Right? You will make the table of hexadecimal. Then you will see, you will write 1 to 9 as normal, and after 9 it will be A, B, C, D, E, F. Right? So see, the B is equivalent of binary. What is the value? That will be 4-bit number, right? Remember or not? Or should I have to open it? Just wait. See, this is octal. Then you have binary, yeah, hexadecimal. See, B is equivalent is 1011. Can you see that? You
Yes,
have to
ma'am.
write 8 zeros, 8 ones, then 4 zeros, 4 1, 4 zeros, 4 1, then double zero, double one, double zero, double one, and 0 1 0 1 0 1. So this will make your table. And in this, after 9, you will have to write A, B, C, D, E, F. B is 1 1 0 1 1. Then you find out E. E's equivalent is 1 1 0 1 triple 1 0, and 5 is 0 1 0 1. That is the answer, right? Any problems? Any problems, Sonal?
So, ma'am, for this we need to learn the table first. That table.
You don't have to learn it. I already told you, just in rough, how can you make the table? You don't have to mug up. You don't have to mug up anything. Whenever you have to make a table, remember that first write the hexadecimal numbers from 0 to 9 will be the decimal ones, and after 9, double digits are not there, 10, 11, 12, 13, it will be A, B, C, D, E, F. And hexadecimal number in binary are in 4 bits. So that will be in 4 bit 000 for 0. And if you don't remember that, 8 zeros in the first column, 8 zeros, 8 ones. First zeros 8, then 1 8. Then in the second column, there are 4 zeros, 4 1, 4 zeros, 4 1. Right? Second column. Then in the third column, you have double zero, that is 2 zeros, 2 1, 2 zeros, 2 1. You keep on going until F. And then in the last column, it is 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 until F. Do you understand? Do you
Yes, ma'am.
understand? So
Yes,
that
yes.
you don't have to mug up. You just remember this and you can make it in rough and just take the equivalent number. Same way in what you octal. Same way in octal you have 0 to 7 numbers. There is no 8 or 9. You that is written in 3 bits. So to remember the table, the first 4 are zeros, then 4 are ones. 4 zeros, 4 1 in the first column. 2 zeros, 2 1, 2 zeros, 2 1 in the second column. 0 1 0 1 0 1 in the third column. So your table
Okay,
will be
ma'am.
made. Nothing else, right? So see here, question number 1 is compulsory and carries 40 marks. Right? If you get, suppose if your question paper is online, so I have heard that online question paper also, some of the questions will be objective, some of the questions will be descriptive. You have to type the answers. So prepare as a descriptive paper also. It's not that only objective will come. If it is online also held. Do you understand? So this kind of a question can be objective question that 112.5 base 10 to binary you have to convert and they will give you ABCD options. So that can come in objective. That is not a problem, right? So question number 1 is compulsory and carries 40 marks. So first question, which is having ABCD, EF, GH, whatever parts. So this is compulsory, which is 40 marks. And after first, second, third, fourth, fifth, you have to attempt any 3. Right. So first question has not finished yet. Why does a computer need main memory? What is cache memory? How is main memory different from cache memory? So why does a computer need main memory? What is the answer? Why is the requirement of main memory? What is your main memory?
CPU.
No, that is not memory. CPU is your processing unit, central processing unit. That
RAM is
processes your data. That is not memory. Remember that. What is main memory?
RAM.
Registers. Registers.
No, that is also not main memory. That is memory of your CPU. Registers are memory of your CPU, and that is fastest memory. Right? Main memory is RAM, random access memory. What is main memory?
RAM.
RAM. And why do you need RAM? Why do you need main memory? What is the requirement? That I told you also. That to
The
start, you start the computer, it requires memory to open up or not. The
Good program.
Yes, ma'am.
operating system starts, then operating system requires some memory to be opened up, right? You open Word, you open Excel, you open other applications, it requires memory to open. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
ma'am.
that memory is provided by your main memory, that is RAM, random access memory, and that is volatile. And what does volatile mean?
It
What does
can
volatile
like
mean?
if there is
After
no power
work
supply, it
done,
will.
Yeah. After if the power supply is not there, then the RAM will not remember anything. It forgets, right? So there is a difference between memory and storage. I also told you that. What is the difference between memory and storage? Memory is temporary, storage is permanent. Yes or no?
Yes, yes,
So
ma'am.
temporary memory is RAM, volatile, which will forget if the power fails. Right, it will forget whatever was there. Whatever was running on main memory, it will forget that. But the storage is permanent, which is your hard disk, pen drive, and all that, which is a permanent memory, non-volatile. It will not forget. It is stored. Do you understand now? So why do you need main memory? To start the start the different applications and operating system. You require a memory to start all those applications, and that memory is your RAM or main memory. For that reason, you need main memory, right? And what is cache memory?
High
The
speed memory.
it's a
High speed memory.
it's a high speed memory, yes. And why it is used? Whatever you open up frequently, whatever you open up frequently, like you open many times Word, you open many times Excel, you open many times some other applications. So it keeps an address inside it, right? It keeps an address of that location inside it. So next time the CPU or your processing unit doesn't have to go to the main memory and ask for that particular application to be opened, and main memory goes to the hard disk to find the location of that particular application, and then it takes the address and opens it on itself. That is main memory opens it on its memory. Right. So cache memory, whatever you open the first time, cache memory keeps an address of that location permanently inside the cache memory. So next time if you open it, the CPU doesn't have to go to the RAM, and RAM doesn't have to go to hard disk. It will find the particular location in the cache memory. So that is why it makes your processing speed high. So it is a high speed memory. That is why. Do you understand? What is cache memory? It keeps your frequently used addresses, which you frequently use applications are there, so their addresses are kept in that memory. Now can you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So how is main memory different from cache memory? Cache memory is a high-speed memory, and it has higher speed than main memory. First difference is that main memory is a little less than cache memory. Speed is less. The second is main memory is the memory which is required to open up the operating system and other applications initially. And cache memory is required to keep the frequently used application addresses inside it. Do you understand? The
Yes, ma'am.
application doesn't open on cache memory. Application doesn't open on cache memory. It only keeps the address of that particular location of that application. It opens up on main memory only. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So that is the difference. What are the advantages and disadvantages of using inkjet printers? Do you know what is an inkjet printer? It's a non-impact printer. Remember, there are two types of printers. One is a impact printer, the other is a non-impact printer. Remember that? What is an impact printer? Which touches the ribbon. An impact is made by touching the ribbon, and then the image of that touching the ribbon, the image of that letter is printed on your paper, right? And what is a non-impact printer? A non-impact printer is which does not touch the ribbon or anything. It prints with other technology, like inkjet printers have nozzle ink. Through the nozzle, it sprays the ink on the paper. And laser printer is another non-impact printer which prints with the heat technology and makes an image with the cartridge ink. There is a powdered ink. Powdered ink is there, and that powdered is the laser light heats up the powder and makes the image of that character on the printer. So those printers which does not have impact or which does not touch the ribbon are known as non-impact printers. There are two types of non-impact printers, inkjet printer and laser printer. And those printers which touch the ribbon and print are dot matrix, drum printers, chain printers. There are these line printers. So these are different kinds of printers. Do you understand? Right?
Yes.
So what are the advantages and disadvantages of using an inkjet printer? The advantages: inkjet printers are faster than impact printers. Inkjet printer is faster than impact printers. Impact printers are what? Which touch the ribbon, they are a little bit slower. The other advantage is it has a good printing technology, and it prints good quality printouts, colored printouts and all that. It prints good quality printouts. That is inkjet printer, and it is, I think, a uh, I think it line printer. It is, I don't remember, lines per minute it prints, or and laser printer prints pages per minute, something like that. So that is one of the advantages. And what is the disadvantage is that the cartridge finishes very early, and the cartridge of this printer is a little costly. It prints less paper compared to laser printers. It prints less paper. The cartridge finishes very early. Do you understand? So you can go through the study material and see what are the advantages and disadvantages of an inkjet printer. So study that. You should also know what is an impact printer and what are non-impact printers. Any doubts? Anybody has having any doubt?
No, ma'am.
And then is draw a flowchart to find the sum of first and natural numbers. Can you do that? Flowchart to find the sum of first and natural numbers. Remember how to make a flowchart. Here loops will be used. Remember, or all of you have forgotten? What will you do? Tell me. First, sum of first and natural numbers. So what will you do? You will use a here start stop is not given, so we are taking this. Right. So for start and stop, what do you use? An oval. Remember?
Yes, ma'am.
So here we'll write start. Right. Then you have to take input, right? So the input output box is how? This is your input output box. the slant rectangle like this. So what input you will take? You can take I is equal to 1. Any variable you can take, right? You can take I is equal to 1. And you can connect it with the arrow. Right. Then after initializing or taking a value of I, what will you do? Condition checking will be there, right or wrong?
Yes, ma'am.
So condition checking is a diamond box. So first n natural numbers they are saying you can take the value of n also, right? Input so we are taking input n also from the user. What will n help in? What will n help in?
Take input.
Yes, it will tell us how many up to how much value we have to go up to. You understand? So that value we will be seeing. Then here we will say whether I is less than equal to n, right? What we will say? Whatever value we have given in n, up to that value we have to go, na? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Suppose we have given 10 numbers. So up to 1 to 10 we have to take the sum. If n we have given 100, then 1 to 100 numbers we have to take the sum. Yes or no?
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
So we are saying whether I is less than equal to n. So if yes, right. So here we can say yes part. So here we can say the yes part is there. So if it is yes, then what do we have to do? We have to take the sum, na? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So we have to take the sum. So how will we take the sum? We'll take a variable called sum, which is equal to sum plus I, right? So here we can also take a variable called sum, which is equal to 0. So, three things we have taken. I we have taken equal to 1, sum equal to 0, input n. So when we calculate the sum, so it will be 0 plus I is 1 initially, so it will be 0 plus 1, sum will be 1, right? Then we have to increment also I is equal to I plus 1. I am doing it here only in this processing box only, right? So here we have done two things. First calculated the sum, then incremented I. I will become what? 2. It was 1. So 2 is less than equal to, suppose n is 10. Yes, it is less than equal to. So here it will come yes. Again it will calculate. Sum is now 1. 1 plus I is 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. So it becomes sum becomes 3. And I is incremented. I becomes 2. I becomes 3. Right. So 3 is less than equal to 10. Yes. Then again it comes here. So sum was 3. 3 plus 3. I is 3 now. 3 plus 3 is 6. So sum becomes 6. Now I is incremented to 4. Then 4 is less than equal to 10. Yes. So it comes here. 6 plus 4 now it is. Sum was 6 plus 4. So that is 10. I is incremented. It becomes 5. 5 is less than 10. Yes. It comes here. So 10 plus 5 becomes 15. So this way it keeps on calculating until I is less than what? Less than n.
10.
N can be your 10 or 100 or whatever you can take. So here we are writing yes. So this is yes part. Right. So if it is yes, then it comes here, and if it is no, then what happens?
Loop will stop.
No, no. Then we have to print the value.
Print
You
sum.
understand? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So after you have calculated the sum, you have to print the value in input output box. You will print the sum now. Print sum. So this is your final answer, and then you will stop. So print the sum is your next step. Here you can say no. So here you will say no. So here you have said no, so it will print the sum. Right, and here also one thing also I didn't do it. What I didn't do it? I didn't connect that after calculating this, where I have to go. After incremented, I have to go where? Showing the loop, I have to go here. Yes or no? Right, it will keep on calculating, keep on doing calculation until what?
Until condition will false.
Yeah. So that I have not done now. So that means it keeps on going back to the condition here, keeps going back to the condition until your condition is yes. Do you understand? Until your condition is yes, it will calculate the sum, increment it, go back to the check the condition. Again it is yes, then it will sum it, increment it, again it will go back to the condition until your condition is not met and no is there. Then print the sum, and then what you have to do? Stop. Right? Any problems? Any problems, class?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So this you should know how to make a flowchart and an algorithm. What is an algorithm? First definition also you should know. What is an algorithm? Tell me. What is an algorithm? Hmm? Tell me what is an algorithm? That also you forgot.
Set of instructions.
Yes, it is a set of instructions which is written in normal English language, right? How your program will be running, how your program steps are executed. That is what step-by-step instructions you can say is an algorithm, right? And what is a flowchart? What will be a flowchart? A pictorial representation of your algorithm, picture format, graphical format. Do you understand? Yes or no? This is a picture format of your
Yes,
algorithm,
ma'am.
na? Pictorial representation of the algorithm is a flowchart, right? So that also you should know definition, and you should know how to make an algorithm in a flowchart. So any problems in this flowchart to find the sum of first and natural numbers? No? Any problems,
No,
anybody?
ma'am.
Acha,
No,
now
ma'am.
a university wants to maintain, manipulate and organize large student data. Which software will be needed by the university? Give justification in detail. Now tell me, a university want to maintain and manipulate and organize large student data. So what software will you use?
Database.
Yes. And why? You have to give justification also, no? Why do you need database? What, do you know what is a database software? What is a database? Anybody knows that?
Excel, Access.
No, that is the example. But what is a database software? What is a database actually?
SQL, ma'am.
Again you are giving me an
Which allows
example.
us to manipulate
I
manipulate
am not
data.
asking you an example ki which software. I am asking you ki what is a database. You have to give justification or not.
For storing the data.
Which allows
Database
us
is
to
a first
manipulate
and
data.
foremost definition. Understand that database is a collection of data. Do you understand? What is the first and foremost definition of a database? It is a collection of data. Yes,
Yes.
right? First foremost definition, right? And in a database, you can manipulate, you can store, you can organize, you can edit, you can delete, you can update the data. Do you understand? What all things can you do in a database? You can manipulate the data. Manipulation means updating, deleting, adding. Yes, you can
Yes,
organize the
ma'am.
data. Yes, that's why a database is a better software for manipulating and organizing large student data. Okay. Now the justification is okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you can store the data, you can manipulate the data, you can organize the data in a database software. That's why it is the best software to use. Right? And examples are MS Access, MS SQL, MySQL, Oracle. So there are many database software, right? Yeah, now you also have MongoDB, big data. For big data, you have MongoDB and all that. That is also coming. So that is a separate issue. We are not talking about that. Right? Now, can you understand which software will be needed? So you will say database software will be needed. Example are these. And justification you will give that a database is a collection of data, and it can manipulate, it can store, and it can organize the data. That is a justification. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
You can add, update, delete. You can create it, tables on data. Everything can be done. So now explain the internet-based architecture of software with the help of a diagram. So you remember we have done in software, the first unit of the block 2 was the type of architectures in the software. So you have internet-based
Yes, ma'am.
architecture. So internet-based architecture means you have a web server, a database server, right? A kind of a entire architecture is there, and the client machine is accessed by the browser. The client is there, then you have web server. Web server goes to the application server. Server also have database server. So that kind of an architecture you have to explain with the help of a diagram. right? Then what are the different domains used in web addresses? I told you what is a URL. URL is Uniform Resource Locator, the website address, right? So what are the different domains used in the web address? Do you remember what are domains? Do anybody remember what is a domain? No? Domains are the you can say uh, the servers which have, or
Name.
the
Yes.
names which have been created specifically country wise or organization wise, which you use to set your address, right? So what are the different domains? If we say country wise domains, so there are .in, .uk, .us, .jp for Japan, Germany, I think GN or GM, I don't remember what is for Germany. So there different country-wise domains are there. Then you also have main domains like .com for commercial sites, .org for organization, .net for networking sites. So there are other main domains also. Remember? Remember or not? Do you understand what are domains now? So you have, what are the different domains used in web addresses? So you can tell. You have main domains, that is .com, .org, .gov, .net. These are main domains. You have country domains also, .in. Then you have subdomains also. Under country you have subdomains like .co or .co.in. So subdomains will be .co, .edu, .ac, .gov, right? So these are the different domains. How is an IP address different from a web address? Can anybody tell? First of all, foremost, tell me what is an IP address?
IP address, it is a unique address
Yes,
which identifies a network
computer.
or machine or computers in the network.
Yeah, yeah, right,
And
absolutely right.
yes, ma'am. And web address is a text form, but IP address in numerical.
Yes, that is a 32-bit address. IP
Yes,
version
ma'am.
address is a 32-bit address,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
4 byte,
Yes,
right?
yes, ma'am.
So IP
And
address is a unique address to identify a computer on a network,
yes, ma'am. And IP
right?
address is
That
not
is a logical
able to.
address.
Yes, ma'am.
That is assigned by us. So that is a logical address. And there is also an address of the machine which is known as MAC address, Media Access Control.
Yes.
What is a MAC address? That is the
Physical
LAN
address.
card address, the LAN
Yes.
card which is inside your system, right? NIC, Network Interface Card. NIC card is inside your system, and that card has an address that identifies the MAC address or the physical address of the system, right? Do you
Yes,
understand?
ma'am.
Every machine has a physical address, which is your MAC address, which is the address given on the LAN card or the NIC card, which is inside your system, through which you connect to your network, the LAN card, right? That is your physical address. And IP address is a logical address assigned by us, manually or automatically assigned by the servers or the by a human itself. That is a logical address. So IP address is a logical address, right? And web address is a URL. That is a name given to a website for that is in human readable format. Do you understand? An IP address is a numeric format, right? That is a 32-bit address. We also studied about the different IP addresses: class A, class B, class C, class D, and class E. 5 addresses are there. Remember?
Yes, ma'am.
That also we did. So this is what you have to write. IP address is a unique address identified to identify a computer on the network. and web address is the address of a website in human readable format, that is your URL, uniform resource locator. IP address is of 32-bit in numeric format, and web address is human readable English format, right? And do you know what is DNS? Domain name system. DNS. Anybody knows that? What is DNS? Domain name system.
Yes, ma'am. Domain name address also in IP, but it is not possible to remember
Yes.
any domain name in figure by the 32-bit. So it's given name. So a name system of the server.
Yes. So suppose you are opening www.ignu.ac.in. So this website name is easy to remember, yes or no? For your writing, it is
Yes,
easy to
ma'am.
remember, na? But IP addresses are numeric. That is 192.168. something something. So is number format easy to remember or the letter format easy to remember? Tell me.
Letter form.
Letter
Letter
format.
format. That is easy to remember for you, that ignu.ac.in. Yes, I remember the website name. Right. So what the DNS does, domain name system, is a architecture which is created. Why? Because every machine you have a unique IP address. I told you every machine on a network is identified by a IP address. Yes or no? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So the server where ignu.ac.in web server, it is located somewhere, it will also be having a IP address. Yes. Yes or
Yes.
no?
Yes.
So
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
that computer, we won't be able to know the IP address of every machine. Will you be able to remember every machine's IP address? No, na.
No.
You will be able to remember only the name of the website, ignu.ac.in. So what is the work of DNS is, it converts the name which is given by you, like ignu.ac.in, into an IP address and then connects to that address on the server. Do you understand? It converts automatically that this ignu.ac.in has this IP address, and then it connects on the network to that computer and shows you the website. Do you understand? That is the work of DNS. Do you understand or not now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Understood.
The work of DNS is this, that every time you open some website, google.co.in or ignu.ac.in, it finds out what is the IP address of this particular website and finds that computer on the network, on that particular server or wherever it is there, and then connects and shows you the web page of that particular site. That is the work of IP address. Because computer can understand what? Tell me, binary, na?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Binary.
IP addresses are converted into binary. That is a 32-bit. In decimal format, it is a in binary, it is a 32-bit format address, right? So everything which is in English format has to be converted into what? Into binary. Yes or no? By the computer.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So that is the work of DNS, domain name system, converts the domains or your names or your URL into an IP address of that machine and then connects to that machine. Otherwise, you will not be able to connect. That is the work of DNS. So all the things you should know. What are the different domains and what is DNS work? What is an IP address? What is a web address? That is your URL. So you should know that. Then what is a browser?
Search engine.
No,
Software for
browser is not a search engine. Remember that. Don't ever write that. That
browser
browser
is
is a
software,
search
no?
engine. It's a software for surfing the internet,
Yes.
right?
Search engines are like Google's and Bing, no?
Yeah, search engines are websites which let you search information, right? So browsers and search engines are different. Browser is a software like Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge. Now you have Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome. These are your web browsers. which let you surf the internet, right? And what is a cookie?
Cookie, ma'am, it is a data of any
Text
person
file.
stored in server,
Small piece of
which is give access easability.
Hmm. See, cookies are actually you can say information stored on your browser, right? It is stored in a browser,
Yes,
not anywhere
browser.
else. It is stored
Yes,
in a browser. So whenever next time you open some website where your information has to be put, the next time you don't have to what? That information on that particular website has been stored as a cookie in your web browser. So next time you open that website, so it will remember your details and it will open up. Do you understand?
yes, ma'am.
So that is a cookie. It stores the information or of a particular website or something inside its browser. And next time when you open that particular website, the information, whatever you have given, it remembers that and from the cookie and shows you. That is a cookie. So whenever sometimes you open a website, it tells you that the cookies will be stored in your browser. Sometimes it says that, right? Some websites show you that also. So is cookie a threat to information security or privacy? Justify your answer. Is it a threat to information
maybe
security
yes.
or privacy? See,
Yes, ma'am. Maybe the vulnerable any.
yeah, if your computer is vulnerable to some hacking or something, then so your information security or privacy is a threat. You understand? If some hacking or such kind of thing is happening with your computer, then so your privacy will be a threat because of a cookie. But if it is not happening, then it will not be a threat. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
that is what you can say. If your system is vulnerable to certain threats like hacking could be done on your system, it is not protected in some way, right, or something, so intruders can attack your systems, then so cookies are a threat because they can access the cookie and see the information. But if your system is not vulnerable to all those things, then your cookie is not a problem. Right. Then list and explain any two processes that are part of e-learning system. Remember we did the last unit of e-learning. What were the two processes of that are part of e-learning systems? Remember or not? The Moodle was one of the things, right? This e-learning processes it is asking. So you can write this one. This is e-learning content development process. So you can write analysis is there, design is there, development and verification is there. Design phase, analysis phase, design phase, implementation and verification phase. These are the processes, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I think that is the one which was there. E-learning, e-learning processes they are talking about. So here also they are saying some of the activities that may be undertaken by student in the e-learning process are login, content, access, assimilation. These are the things. So you can write these also and this also. These also. Analysis, design, develop and verification. right? But this is generally development process for development of e-learning content. If they are talking about e-learning content, then you have to write these one. And if they are talking about only e-learning process, so you can say login, content access and assimilation, undertake formatting assessment, online formative assessment using assignment and discussion, right? So then you can write these. So they are asking you what? Any two processes that are part of e-learning system. I think so. This is the only, since e-learning. They, see here, if you see here, since any e-learning project checks your achievements against a learning outcome, therefore it starts with identification and verification process. The common process used for this purpose is the use of username and password, that is login. So basically you can explain the login process and content access and assimilation, or whatever other process you want. So they are talking about the two processes, so you can explain any process. You can also explain feedback if you want. That is also one of the process. So any two processes you can explain. You understand? So that is what they are asking. So this is your first question, which is of 40 marks, right? Any problems in this?
No, ma'am.
Right. Then the second question, they have asked you about identify the net ID and device ID for the following IP address and subnet mask pairs. Right. When I talked about the class addresses, I also told you that class A, like this, has a subnet mask of this. Can you see that? They have given you the subnet mask also. This is the subnet mask, this is the IP address. This is the IP address, this is the subnet mask. Of this is class C network, this is class A network. Right? So what is the net ID of class A network? Can you identify? Where 255, 255, 255 are there, that means 192.168.5 are the network IDs.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? And the last one where 0 is there, that is 97 is your device ID. Understand? Understand everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
And here 10 and 10.10. 10.10 is your network ID, and where zeros are there, 13 and 10 is your device ID. 13.10. Right? Any problems in identifying? Where 255
No.
is there, that is your network ID. So 10.10 is network ID. And where zeros are there, then 13.10 is your device ID. And where again see 255, so 192.168.5 is your network ID and 0 is 97, so 97 is your device ID. This is how you will identify your network ID and device ID. Yes? Any problems? This we had done also earlier. Now, how does the search on keyword intelligent, that is in double quote, or system, that means intelligent or system or operator is used, differ from search intelligent and system? Explain. Can anybody tell? Or and. If or is written, then what is the what will happen, and is written, what will happen? If
It
you,
will search either intelligent
yeah, or system,
or
yeah, and
Bot.
it
Equal.
will search for both.
yeah, it will search both the things, intelligent and system. Compulsorily both the things will be searched, and in or Either of one can be searched, either intelligent or system. This is the difference. Yes? Any
Yes.
problems? Any problems, class?
No, ma'am.
And what is a
No, ma'am.
modem now? What is a modem? Modem's full
Modem is
form,
modem and demodulation.
yeah, modulator,
And
demodulator.
demodulation.
MO means modulator, DEM means demodulator. So what is the work of a modem? What does it do in networking?
It converts data.
It is a, first and foremost, it is a network device,
Yes, ma'am.
right, which converts your analog signal to digital
Digital.
and vice versa, that is digital signal to analog.
Yes, ma'am.
That is a modem, right? So what it does is, when you a modem is a device through which you connect to the internet, right? So a telephone line is attached to the modem, and the modem is then attached to the to your laptop or your system through the LAN cable, right? Right. So what is the work of the modem? The telephone line supplies you analog signal, and your computers understands digital signal. So what modem does in between is that it converts the analog signal which is coming from the telephone line and converts it into digital, which goes into your computer. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, that is the work of modem. So whatever information you see on your laptops or your systems is in digital format, and when you transfer some data or you upload some data or transfer some information or email to some other person, then what does the modem do is, your information is in digital format in your laptop, that goes through the modem, and modem converts it into analog, and then it goes to from the telephone line to the other network where the email has to be received, and on the other network also the system where you have sent the email, the system, when the person opens the system, so there also a modem will be there, and it, again your information is in analog format, there it will be converted into digital and shown on the system of that person, right? So that is the work of modem. Yes, or understood? Modulator, demodulator, modem, it converts analog to digital, digital to analog. Now explain the characteristics and advantages of wide area network. WAN. There are different types of network we studied, right? PAN we studied, personal area network. LAN we studied, local area network. MAN we studied, metropolitan area network. And WAN, wide area network. So what are the advantages of characteristics of WAN?
Ma'am, one is large geographical areas covers.
Yes, the whole world can be covered in the
Yes,
LAN.
ma'am.
So it is just like an internet,
Yes.
right?
It may be more country compromise.
More what?
Maximum country worldwide,
You can
global.
worldwide connect to all the countries. That is correct.
Unlimited number of networks
Computers,
may be
yeah,
connected.
networks can be connected. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So for this wide area network thing, you can also go to your block 3 and see what are the different advantages of your wide area network. So one or two, so we have shown you, right? So these things you have to just explain and write. That's all.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
write 4 points and you'll get 4 marks, one for each, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What are the characteristics of twisted pair cable? Compare its features with optical fiber cables. So what are the characteristics of twisted pair cable? Remember,
Let's see.
twisted pair cable features are what? It will be
Yes,
for
ma'am. It is constituting for 8 numbers of copper wire,
uh,
which is generally used as a straight cable for
yes,
connecting
and will it be used for long
locally.
distance?
Yes, long distance it not works.
It's not, it doesn't work for long distances.
Yes.
So when you compare the features with optical fiber, these things you should remember. Do you
Yes,
understand?
ma'am. Right, ma'am.
What is the distance covered by twisted pair and what is the distance covered by optical fiber?
Yes.
That
OFC long
difference is
distance
there.
covered and twisted pair maximum below 100 meter.
Yeah, and in optical fiber, it is made of glass.
Glass and it's
And
works on
twisted pair is of copper wire. Shielded.
total
It
internal
can be
reflection.
shielded or unshielded.
Yes, ma'am. And OFC works on total internal reflection principle.
And what is the
Glass is also
attenuation? That means the disturbance is
it's
there
low.
in twisted pair or in optical fiber. That also you can compare.
Yes, ma'am. Losses also minimum in OFC
Yeah,
and
losses is minimum in optical fiber. Data loss will not be there.
right, ma'am.
So these things you can compare, and if you write 5 points, that is more than enough. 5 marks will be there, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Then explain how object-oriented software design paradigm is different from structured and modular design paradigm. So object-oriented design paradigm is based on objects. Or what are objects? Objects are real-world entities. Anything which you see is an object. A table, a chair, a student, a teacher, everything is an object, right? So object-oriented software paradigm is based on objects and classes. A class is a group of objects, right? So suppose if I say my class you can say a classroom is my class. So classroom has chairs, classroom has students, classroom will have teacher, whatever. So all the objects inside that particular thing will be a class. So that format is known as object-oriented software paradigm. But structured and modular design paradigm means you have to make a structure, a single structure, right, or functions you can say, and then you can combine those functions to make a module. That is known as a function-based programming is known as modular or structure programming, and object-oriented is not based on function, it is based on objects and classes, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So there is a difference. So that also you can do. That is in again your block 2 unit 1 on software. Now what is the need of an operating system? Why do you
Operating
need an
system
To
is
operating
start
system?
yes,
computer,
ma'am.
to run computer.
Yes, and also
Interact with
remember the
users.
main definition of operating system which I told you. What is the definition of operating system? It is an interface between the user and the
Users and the machine
hardware.
or hardware.
Yeah. So it is an interface between the user and the hardware, and if your interface is not there, if an interpreter is not there in between you and the hardware, then your language will not be understood by the computer. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So it is the main software. It is a system software. Remember, operating system is a system software which is required because it is an interface between the user and the hardware. Right? It is the first program or the software which starts your computer. That is also there. Now it is saying give names of 2 popular operating systems. So you can give names, right?
Yes.
Windows, right? 10, or Apple, you can say Macintosh if you know the versions of Macintosh, right? If you know Linux, Fedora, Linux, Ubuntu, whatever, if you know the versions you can write, otherwise just say Linux, right? So Linux is there, Macintosh is there, Windows is there. So there are different operating systems. Now in mobiles you have Android, iPhone, in iPhone you have iOS. Yes, those are also operating systems, mobile operating systems. Suppose you want to transfer a file from your hard disk to a CD. Which of the following services of the operating system will be used and for what purpose? See, there are different features or characteristics of operating system. That is, it is a user interface. Yes, it does file management. It does input-output services. It does process control management, and it does memory management and device management also. They have not written, but device management is there, scheduling is there, right? Do you understand? The features
Yes,
of
ma'am.
operating system, what all things operating system can do. It can manage files, so file management is there. It can manage your memory management is there. It can manages all the processes. What is a process? Anything which is in running form, in run mode, is a process for operating system. So whatever you are running right now is a process for operating system. So it manages all the processes. That means whatever is running right now, it manages that. The process control management, all the input output devices which are there are managed by the operating system, the input output services, right? It is a user interface, yes, because it is an interface between you and the hardware, so it is a user interface, yes. So these are the features of operating system. Now, if you want to transfer a file from a hard disk to a CD, which of these services will be used by the operating system and for what purpose? Tell me. First and foremost, input output service will be used. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
You will put in an input device or in input CD-ROM device or not? And memory management will be used. Yes or no? Memory management, because from
Yes.
your hard disk you will be putting it in a CD. So memory management will be used. What else? File management will be used because what you are transferring a file from hard disk to CD. Yes. And user interface, so you are using only. Otherwise, you will not be able to see the file also. So user interface is also there. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
And why
Yes, ma'am.
process control management will also be there? Tell me why. Because these are the processes which are running currently. You have opened hard disk, right? You are selecting a file. So processes are running or not? And then you
Yes.
are transferring the file to CD. That is also a process going on. Yes? So all these services will be used. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Right? So all these things are currently being used. So that you have to tell. Explain which software will be required to perform the following task. Also list 4 features of these software. So tell me, scheduling of tasks. Which software will you use?
Outlook.
Yes, you can use Outlook also, but scheduling of tasks you will use Microsoft Project One. Remember? Remember or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Microsoft Project One you will use. Just hold on. That was in block 2, I think. I don't know, in unit 4 it was. This project man, this one. So also you should know what is an open source software. So this software you will use, project management software, right? Project management is the discipline of planning, organizing, and managing resources to bring about the successful completion of specific project goals and objectives. So one definition, so you should know about that. So here your initiation, planning, design, implementation of the project is the responsibility. So software project management is the software. So you can schedule here, na? Can you see that? Different project management activities which can be performed using project management software scheduling. So the most purpose is to schedule events or tasks here. So which is the software which you will use? You will use project management
Project
software,
management.
right? An example of that are timesheet reporter, ACE project, time reporting, queue time, and time control. These are some of the examples of project management software, right?
Yes.
So that is one thing. Then Creating mail merge. So this is so simple. We will use
Word. Word.
word processing software. Example is MS Word, right? And you have to list 4 features of the software. Can you see that? So what are the features of project management software? So you can say you can plan, initialize, plan, and those things you can write here. What here it was written, na? Project initiation, project planning, design. These things you can do. Then you can also do scheduling, calculating critical path, providing information, timesheet management. These are the tasks you can do, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So if your desktop applications, you can use MS Project or Gantt Project, web-based applications. So these are the examples which they have given. And mail merge, you will use MS-DOS. So what are the features of that? You can tell that you can edit a document, you can write a document, right? Right? So mail merge you can do. Then entering formulas and functions.
Excel.
Excel.
You will use
Microsoft
MS Excel, that is spreadsheet. What is that used for?
For data.
Yes, for calculations, for analyzing data, right? For making charts, you can make functions, right? So you can write all the features here. Then creating presentation is PPT, PowerPoint, right?
Yes.
Presentation software is PowerPoint. So what are the features? You can make presentations with slides, and you can make transitions. You can add videos, graphics, and all that, right? So that is the features you can write. Explain the working of a basic computer with the help of a diagram showing its basic components. Can you do this? Working of a basic computer with the help of a diagram. Remember John von Neumann's diagram, input and output unit, then CPU with ALU and control unit and memory unit. Remember?
Yes,
Remember the
ma'am.
diagram or not?
Input, process, output.
So the diagram you have to make, that diagram, same diagram you can make. So that is this one, I think. I don't know, it is in this one or this diagram. Input, output, then this is CPU, control unit or arithmetic logic unit, and this is memory unit or storage unit, right? Right? Any problems? See, I told you who is the father of computer? Who is the father of computer?
Charles Babbage.
Charles Babbage. And who is the architect of computer? Remember? Architect of computer is John von Neumann. Right? He designed this architecture. This architecture is designed by him, that there should be an input unit, output unit, CPU and memory unit. Understand? So the architecture is designed by John von Neumann, and father of computer was Charles Babbage. So you have your computer does processing, output, input, right? Input, output, everything, and processing. This is done by your computer, and storage also. Yes or not? Yes. So this is what you have to show. Explain the working of a basic computer with the help of a diagram showing its basic components. Right. What are the differences between primary and secondary memory of a computer? Tell me what is the difference between a primary and a secondary memory.
Yes, ma'am.
Primary memory is used for processing.
Right. Secondary memory.
Primary memory is generally volatile. and secondary memory is non-volatile. First difference,
Yes,
right?
Our primary memory faster than secondary memory.
Primary memory is faster than secondary memory. Primary memory has less memory. That means the storage capacity is less than secondary memory. Secondary memory has large storage capacity. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
The speed of speed is more of primary memory, and secondary memory speed is less.
Yes.
Do you understand? Remember that diagram which I showed you? Speed wise,
Yes, ma'am.
first is registers, then cache, then main memory, then secondary memory. Yes, primary or main is the same thing. And storage capacity wise, the highest is the secondary memory, then comes the main memory, then comes the cache, then comes registers. The lowest capacity is of registers. Remember? So which of them is larger in size?
Secondary
That will be
memory.
secondary memory.
Secondary.
Which of them is faster? That will be
Primary memory.
primary memory. Simple. Right? You'll gain 6 marks. Explain the role of the following utility softwares. Now, do you know what is disk checkers? Disk checkers are software or inbuilt Windows software which checks for your disk is corrupted or not, right? So disk checkers are those softwares which check your disk. And system restore is what?
It is the prior point during if any occurs fault in operating
Yes,
system, then
yes.
we will maybe go to this previously point that is
Yeah.
called restore
So
point
you have to set a restore point in your system.
of
If you
OS.
have set that restore point, so if in later stage your system gets corrupted or something like that, so you
Yes,
can restore your system to that point where you have saved your system restore.
system. Yes,
So your system will become again normal.
right.
So that is system restore. So these are two utility softwares which are provided by Windows automatically. So they can check the disk, if your disk, that is your hard disk. Disk means hard disk. If the hard disk is corrupted, that disk checkers can check, or some booting or some problem is there. And system restore is the point which is set by you, so that whenever your system gets corrupted, so you can go back to that particular point where your system was working normally. Right? And what is the use of digitizing graphic tablet and joystick? Tell me.
Utilizing tablet maybe is touch screen.
Touch screen. Digitizing graphic tablets are generally used as for signing, the like signatures can also be there.
Yes, it may be pen type.
Can be pen like.
Yes.
And what is joystick? It can be touch of your what you say, laptop. Digitizing
Right.
graphic tablet can be touch of your laptop also. That can also be there. But touch screen will not be a digitizing graphic tablet.
Okay.
What is joystick?
Joystick is like an input device.
Yes, it is an input device. Digitizing graphic tablet is also an input device. Joystick is a stick which is generally used to move your cursor left, right, up, down, right? Like in
Minimize its features is minimized then digitizing tablet, right, ma'am?
what minimized?
Only we can use for left, right, and up, down.
Digitizer.
No, ma'am. Joystick.
No, you can go up, down, left, right. You can do that is a joystick. Just like in games, if you play
Right.
games, these things are used generally. I'm just seeing in which unit it was. Not in this. Must be in fourth unit of. In here it is. on page number 82. Yeah. Digitizing a graphic tablet is a computer input device that allows one to hand draw images and graphics. Remember, like in CAD CAM, computer aided design and all this is used. So whatever you do on this thing gets displayed on the system. You can draw with this, you can do some signature like in driving licenses. Right now they let you sign on a digitizing tablet and that signature goes into the system, right? You can also make car designs and robots and all, you can draw on this also. This is a digitizing tablet. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And joystick is this, with which you generally play video games and all, which can go forward, backward, left, right, which will move the cursor or move the game, whatever is there on the game. So it can move your underwater vehicles or flight simulators or industrial robots. So that is what a joystick is. Right, so you can write their use, where it is used. Digitizing graphic tablet is used for designing or images on the computer, and joystick is used for playing video games, so that you can move the game left, right, and forward, backward. Explain any 5 of the following with the help of an example or a diagram. So you can explain supercomputer, which is the fastest computer with lots of memory, and generally it is used in scientific applications like weather forecasting, atomic research, and all that. So those are, or weather. So those are supercomputers, the fastest and which have lot of memory, right? And 4th generation computers are which one? The year you should write I think 1991 to the current year. 1991 to current year is the 4th generation, right? No, not I think 2000 or 2000 or something. I think 2004 it was, or 2003. I don't know. I don't remember. Or 2010 was the 4th generation, and after that 5th generation has started already. So 4th generation was VLSI, very large scale integration, right? And 4th generation has also started what was the other thing? I think artificial intelligence thing was added, and high level languages were also there. So those things you have to explain for the 4th generation. Then this layout of a CD-ROM. How is disk layout of a CD-ROM? The disk has tracks, and tracks have sectors, and sectors have blocks. So that is what you have to tell. Do you understand? I told you now, a disk has tracks,
Yes, ma'am.
and tracks have sectors, and then sectors have blocks of data which is on the sectors. So that is how you have to disk layout, you have to explain. And for what is a power software? What is a power software? A power software is a software
Like
which does malicious things in your computer, yes?
malicious software. Yes, ma'am.
And viruses, malware, spyware, whatever is there are all power software, right? Then open source software. Open source software are what?
Free softwares.
It is non
They are softwares which are provided by the whose source code is available
source code is
freely,
available.
right?
Maybe developed
Free
by
software is
others.
different from open source software. So like open source software, if you have the source code, you can develop your own software and then you can sell the license key. Open source software has that facility also. Then what is Wiki? Wiki, remember
It
yesterday
means
also we saw.
Wikipedia.
It's a information website where you can create, you can edit and all the content of that particular page, right? It's a website now. Wiki is a website.
Yes, ma'am.
Just like a search engine, it is also a website where information is there on particular topics, and on any topic, if you want to edit or change the information, that is you can do with the wiki. And what is TCP/IP?
It is a protocol.
It is a protocol. Protocols are rules which let you transfer data from one computer to the other, and TCP/IP is transmission control protocol / internet protocol. Right? So TCP/IP lets you transfer the information from one computer to the other through this protocol.
Yes, ma'am. Based on
Right?
OSI. Yes,
Based on OSI.
yes,
But nowadays you also have TCP/IP model also,
right, ma'am.
which is of 4 layers. OSI
Yes,
is Open System Interconnection,
7 layers.
which has 7 layers. Now you have TCP/IP model, which have 4 layers.
Only 4 layers. Yes,
right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is your paper. Any problems in this paper? Any problems? See, first question you have to do compulsorily, and then you have to, from second to fifth, you have to attempt any 3. So you can choose which one to attempt, but we have discussed all the things generally. This was June 2021 paper. Our latest paper of which December 2021 has not come by right now. It was held in February and March. Maybe they will upload it, but this is a paper which is there. Any problems? Tell me. Tell me, class, any problems is there? See, this is the way you have to prepare your things. I earlier also told you, go to the website, download previous 5 years paper. When you prepare for your exam, previous 5-year papers, you write your answers for those you are prepared for your exam. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
There will be no problems. First semester will be very easy. Right? So, right now, do you want to discuss anything? We'll meet again at 7 p.m. otherwise, for half an hour. Is there anything to discuss? Everybody has put their attendance? Write your name and enrollment number. Don't write only name. Name and enrollment number on the chat box for attendance. So we'll meet at 7 again, right? For 20 minutes we'll have break, right? And whatever other doubts you have or whatever problems you have, we can discuss it, right? I've not forwarded the schedule. The schedule is up to Friday. I'll just forward it today on the group, and you can see it on the group, right? Any other thing, or should we right now close it and then meet again at 7?
Classes extend हुए हैं क्या?
3 classes. I was not there. I had a problem, so 3 classes we didn't do. So those classes I have to arrange, because your attendance should be marked, because there are 20 sessions, right? So those sessions have also to be attended by you, so your attendance is marked. So that is why.
Okay, ma'am.
Otherwise